Hello, welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name's Joe. I've got Stephen Howson
Hi,
here.
Joe.
We've just watched Manchester United draw 2-2 with Leicester on Boxing Day. First of all, we've had a little bit since the dust has settled, a touch on the game. We're not in that full fervour of post-match reaction. Give me your thoughts on this game now. We've had a little bit of time to reflect.
People seem to be focusing on the shots that we had. I think Marcus could. Here's the difference, right? A lot of people saying he should have scored some of those other goals. His expected goals literally had him scoring one goal.
Yeah.
Literally 1.06 goals, i.e. one goal. I think people are overstating how much of an easy chance they were to score. I think the one he missed was a 0.37 and one was a 0.3. They're good chances, but they're not. Yep. They're not tap-ins. They're not 90%
the header, though,
chances.
you would say that's got to be on target, surely.
I'll never get mad at a player that gets a shot on target. No, like I think he probably could have put the 1v1. He probably could have put that further away, but he got it on target. So you got to say if he connects better with the header, it probably goes in if he hits the target. I thought that was probably the biggest mistake. The 1v1, you'd hope he does better, but you can't really kick off too bad about it doing better. Elite players score 1 in 4. Freaks like Haaland scores 1 in 3 at the moment, which is just unheard of. Marcus scored 1 out of 3 chances today. It's par for the course.
Yeah. So looking at the missed chances is one thing that was one big criticism, and I think one of the reasons that was highlighted as a criticism is, first of all, that chance the header came so early on.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Second of all, missed chances have sort of been the curse of our season this year. I think almost every single game, with the exception of the Arsenal game, funnily enough, we've had enough chances to win every game.
That's one thing about this United, and I said that upstairs during the game. Like previously, under Louis, especially under Louis, you'd be like, we could play forever, we're not going to score a goal. Yeah. I don't get that with this United side. This current United side, I think, has got goals in it. It might look like Bruno Fernandes, but it's got goals in it. I mean, what a goal and assist, and I think most of us probably agree was pretty under par him today.
In terms of defensively, then, there's something else that we've seen a lot of criticism of. Maguire saw a lot of criticism. Now, personally, and without trying to put my opinion on you, I don't think either goal was particularly his fault. But should he be doing more defensively? And if it's not Maguire, what is going wrong generally for these goals? And not just today, but this sort of consistently sloppy goals where you go, who was at fault there? I can't work it out.
Like three of you.
Shit.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I think there's a lot of leadership needs to come into that. And I think that's where Maguire does let himself down a little bit. Because I don't think he marshals a back line. I don't see him constantly cajoling. I don't see him grabbing older people at set pieces and go, you fucking stand there. This is what you're supposed to do. Now people go, well, it's on the rest of the place to do that. Yes and no, it is. But even as a Paddock FC example, we got an old centre-half. The other centre-halves, Will and Oatsy, that play alongside him, they're good centre-halves. And you look at them, you go, they can play football. But when they play alongside Parker, we generally win. We've actually only dropped points when he's not played. And when you speak to him, they go, I've never been talked through a game. Now, from the sideline, I never see him shouting. But they say he talks you through the game. He's played at a high level. So he literally commands the entire back line. People who play in front of him in the 6 and the people who play alongside him at fullback and centre-half, they go, he never shuts up. He's constantly organising and moving us around. And I go, is Maguire doing that sort of stuff? Because the sort of chances that you see them concede, they're not acceptable. No. We see United conceding to just, like I said, it's a comedy of errors every time we concede. It's not usually a moment of absolute genius where he's sent him this way and he's sent him that way and he's top binsed it and you go, wow, no one saves that. You go, the fuck are we doing? Like it's that flash cross across the box and to be fair, Leicester put a lot of them in today and we dealt with the vast majority of them. But that flash cross across the box, we seem to have so much trouble with that this season. We've seen everybody take us to pieces with that. Istanbul took us to pieces with that. That's what worries me is, and when them balls are coming in, I don't have the confidence in Maguire. So even if you say, and I probably agree with you, today I don't think he was necessarily at fault for either of the goals. Him and De Gea, I think in combination, maybe he looked so good at Leicester because he had someone constantly screaming him in Schmeichel. Maybe he looks so good at England because he's got other people around him leading him. Maybe when he's got to be the leader, it doesn't quite stack up. And I wonder if the jigsaw pieces don't quite fit with our current lineup. De Gea, I think, needs to do loads more as a goalkeeper in terms of organising. He's so passive. I have issues with that.
And that's always been a criticism of De Gea, hasn't it? Like,
I think it's valid.
Even at his best.
Yeah, his shot stopping's phenomenal,
yeah.
but there's the other aspects of his game. Where's the violence at crosses? He's coming out and like, you know, you don't want to always constantly hark back to Peter Schmeichel, but even Van der Sar would come and make something his. You know, and he was like that.
Schmeichel was like, up to the penalty spot is mine. Van der Sar was up to the 6-yard line is mine. De Gea's like, if it's not on my goal line, it's yours, lads.
Yeah.
And there's always been a problem with, you know, even during when he was the best goalkeeper in the world, sort of 2016, 17, 18, Neuer, the reason a lot of people would rate him above him was the command of his box, and not just his box, his whole half in Neuer's case.
That bottom third.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward a little bit, or taking sort of a step back, this is a result today as a 2-2, second in the league. We now get to see ourselves, even though, you know, may only be briefly, on equal points with the teams around us other than Leicester. We're 4 points behind Liverpool, which isn't where we want it to be, but, you know, top of the league, 4 points off them isn't bad. How do you think this result will stack up in a week's time, a month's time, 6 months' time?
I think fundamentally, I mean, Leicester are a top 6 team now. They are. They've replaced Arsenal as a top 6 team.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, I don't care. They have. So you have to put that top 6 framework over the results. Now, as the home team, you're expected to win that, and that includes United. When we play Liverpool at home, I expect United to win that game. Now, invariably, we've not been winning that game, and that's obviously an issue. Same when City come to town. We win our home games, and you don't lose your away game. That's what the aim is. If you like, ultimately, you go, well, I want every game. Of course, you want to win every game, but you got to be realistic. And a draw away from home at a rival, top 6 rival, is not a bad result because they want to win that home game. So you've taken points off them there. That should be seen as a good result. So the Leicester game, in that framework, could be seen as a good result, but it doesn't feel like that to me.
No.
And I think it doesn't feel like that to me because they weren't very good today.
No.
And United, probably with a better team, probably should have earned the 3 points, probably did enough, you could argue, to get the 3 points. You score 2 goals away from home. You should have enough to do that. You shouldn't really be conceding twice. Certainly in the manner, you know, from the amount of chances that they created, you shouldn't really be conceding twice. And I think United found it almost too easy to create chances at times. Like, we weren't really trying really hard, especially, you know, from the first minute. We weren't really trying really hard to create chances. We sort of found it fairly simple to create chances. And maybe we got a little bit lackadaisical with that. I think you've got to be more ruthless. If you want to be talked about as champions and people that can compete for the league, you have to show that ruthlessness. United don't have that ruthlessness at the moment. We've got far too many passengers. I didn't think Lindelof was great as a right back. I think Dan James was great. And Luke Shaw was great. Fred, not his greatest game today. McTominay's phenomenal defensively, but leaves a lot to be desired advancing the ball up the pitch. I think Bruno was very good today. Marcus probably could have done a little bit more than what we saw him do today. He had flashes that were good, but Tony Marshall wasn't really there. So, you know, you can win a game of football with 7 or 8 players. You can't win a game of football with 7 or 8 players not really having a good day. I mean, for considering how long he's been out, Bay was decent.
Yeah.
But no more than that. You know, and this is the problem, is that we've been so used to 6 or 7 players carrying Manchester United that those like right wing spots, centre half spots where you get a decent performance, they get over-egged because people go, Dalot could be our right winger.
Yeah.
He's like Messi. He really isn't.
No.
He's just not better than, he's better than the nobody that we've had there. So I think that perspective for a long time has been an issue with our fan base. And I think perspective-wise, 2-2, it's not the worst result. I just think we could have done better. And I hope we don't rue this later on in the season because it's going to be so tight around us that any drop points from now on really could show up. And, you know, that could be the 2 points. It's so tight. Could honestly be the difference between being second at the end of the season and 6th.
Yeah. And quickly before we go then, you look at the individual results again, and you mentioned it, and you talked about your home games, winning your home games. Last season, one of the things that Ole was credited for, and rightly so, was our form against the other top 6 teams. Now, you look this season, Arsenal, Chelsea, City,
Arsenal
Leicester.
don't count.
You know, the biggest, you know, we can include them for the sake of this. Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Leicester, Tottenham. We've not won any of those games. Now, admittedly, we haven't lost all of them, but we lost stupidly to Arsenal. We got battered by Tottenham.
Arsenal don't count.
We drew with Chelsea, City, and now Leicester. As an individual result, drawing at home to City isn't bad. Getting a point against Chelsea isn't bad. Getting a point away at Leicester.
Like I just said 2 minutes ago.
What's going on there?
You got to win your home games. In that circumstance, you have to take more points from your home games. And if you're not winning your home games, then you have to start winning. You can't accept draws on the road because you've got to make up that points difference. All right, Spurs snotted us. Chelsea, Arsenal, City, they came and played for 0-0, and Arsenal managed to get a 1-0. And I reject that Arsenal are a top 6 side.
Yeah, but you know the point I'm making in terms of historically bigger teams where they would be on those lists of top against the top teams. Yeah. Here's the points totals.
I would start every league campaign saying 19-0 at home and hope we can do better on the road. Let's be real. It doesn't always work like that.
No.
I would say that it puts a lot of pressure on. Like, who've we got left to play at home? Just Liverpool.
Yeah. Of the top teams.
Yeah. That's a big ask. We got Leicester as well.
Oh, at home, sorry. Yeah, we've still got Leicester at home.
Leicester and Liverpool at home. It's got to be 6 points.
Yeah.
Unless both of those teams just drop points for fun in the next couple of months. Because if we're trying to catch what's around us, you have to bet them at some point. You can't catch them by equaling or doing less than that, obviously. You have to start putting them away. And I do believe this. I think we're a proper 80s side at the moment. 80s United, where we're going to be good in cups and we're going to go far in cups. We might not win a cup every year, but we're going to be a bit of a cup team because we've not got full balance. We still need areas in the pitch fixing. I think that today was Ollie making a case about a centre half
and a right back. I think as well the way he started Lindelof there,
possibly, and. Fundamentally, we all know a right side is needed, and maybe a midfield that can progress it and do the dirty work that we saw Scott McTominay do. Maybe like a Sam Niguez or something like that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned.
You've mentioned it a couple of times.
But I think that's the sort of calibre of player that United have got to be looking at. You've seen what Bruno Fernandes has come in and done. Why don't we go and get more of those? I mean, Cavani. I think we all deluded ourselves into thinking the Premier League was this absolute mythical beast that no one can tame. Fucking stop it. He's coming and gone. Really? Watch this. If United did manage to get Haaland last January, what's he now? About 150 fucking goals into his Dortmund career?
Yeah.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he'd have done the same here. I think gone are the days where that exchange rate isn't as crazy as it used to be.
As the pound is weakened, so is the Premier League currency, where you get 20 goals in Portugal. You're probably getting 18, 19 in England now.
Yeah. Comfortably. Or more. Did you see Bruno's interview? He's like, so I think sensible target is more goals than games.
Cheers, lad.
It's all right, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, don't mind that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That would be like record breaking. So, and I think he's fully straight faced when he says that. He picked up 2 today, so who knows?
Right, great. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for joining us at home. Let us know what you think to the Man United's result of 2-2 away at Leicester. Seems a bit shit on the day. It's one of them where you sort of go, not the worst result ever, but we wanted more, and we definitely did want more. We could have got more and should have got more potentially as well with the chances we had. Again, let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for joining us, Stephen. Thank you for joining us at home. We'll see you in a bit.